Bohol Island in Philippines is famous for the chocolate hills and the smallest monkey in the world. But did you know it's also famous for white sandy beach and dive spots? Today we are heading from Cebu city all the way to Alona Beach. We offer you a road trip adventures in the Philippines and the reward of arriving at one of the most famous beaches in the Philippines. We'll leave our hotel in Lapu-Lapu city this morning, really happy to leave Cebu city. As we are not really a city persons, we came to the Philippines for the beach. We head now with a taxi to Cebu Pier 1. At the pier number 1, we will find our ferry. Direction: Bohol Island, and more precisely in Tagbilaran. The ride takes around 2 hours, just enough time to watch the waves and feel the salty wind. This is the adventure. The adventure starts. We notice how Filipino families, workers, and tour groups all share the same boat. This makes transportation in the Philippines more organized and daily life among islands residents easier. When you reach Tagbilaran, the rhythm shifts. The port is small. From here, you take a tricycle, a small motorbike with a sidecar, all the way to Panglao.
In Alona Beach?
Alona Beach.
The ride is bumpy, noisy, but fun. Tagbilaran is the capital and largest city of Bohol Island. From here, you can head to the Chocolate Hills in the center of the Bohol Island, or to the nearby town of Corella, where the entrance of the Philippine Tarsier Sanctuaries is located. It is the smallest primate on the planet. We soon arrive at Panglao Island. It is connected to the main island of Bohol by 2 bridges. The third bridge, also connecting the island of Bohol via the port, is under construction. Panglao has had a new airport since 2018. It replaced the old Tagbilaran airport. The most surprising thing is that it has a direct connection to South Korea. We have now arrived at Alona Beach. From Cebu, it took us less than 4 hours, without any problems. It was smooth and again, a really fun trip on the tricycle. Alona Beach is rather small, as it stretches for less than a kilometer of powdery white sand surrounded by lower rocky cliffs. But why it's called Alona Beach? The stories go back to the 1970s. A famous Filipino actress, Alona Alegre, filmed a movie right here. Locals remember her name, and slowly, the beach took it as its own. The beach is located near a local reef and is a popular diving and snorkeling spot. However, you will need to get there by boat to enjoy it, as Alona Beach is perfect for swimming and sunbathing like a starfish. We will be staying in Alona Beach for a few days. We plan to do some island hopping, especially Balikasar Island and Virgin Island. For us, Alona Beach was the most convenient place to stay compared to expensive and luxurious resorts. Food is everywhere, but it's surprising how much fast food dominates everything. That says, you will still find fresh cooked seafood and more casual dining options. Stay until the end, we will tell you our top picks in Alona Beach. So, what does Alona Beach look like? By day, boats line the shore, ready to take travelers out to sea. By night, the light of the cafe reflects on the waves. So this is Bohol. It's Panglao, and we are arrived after 2 days from Cebu. Our real first time in Philippines. The place it's full of ship and lots of solicitation to do snorkeling. Now let's enjoy. It feels better here than in Cebu city. And it's at sunset, after a busy day, that we truly appreciate the Philippines. The island atmosphere and the beauty of the sunset remind us why we came. And that's just the beginning. Tomorrow morning, in the next episode, we will embark on an island hopping excursion to Balikasar and the Virgin Islands, where the stories continues. I want to give you some details and share more of the experience I gained from my trip. So far, the Philippines has been a very pleasant country to visit. We took taxi, a ferry, and a motorized tricycle, which was always convenient and economical. We didn't encounter any travel problem, which is very pleasant. We could have taken a cheaper bus upon arrival in Tagbilaran to get to Alona Beach, but that would have involved a 30-minute walk, waiting, and more time on public transport. Perhaps an hour by bus to reach Alona Beach. We could also have taken a more expensive taxi, but we wouldn't have enjoyed the trip that way. Traveling by motorized tricycles is very pleasant. Now about the ferry boat. The first problem with the ferries in the Philippines is the numerous fees. You have to understand that it can be a problem when you just arrive in Philippines. You pay for the luggage and for the port fee most of the time. The luggage fee are normal. I think it can be annoying for carrying the luggage and it takes a lot of space. The port fees are annoying, as it would have been better if they were included directly in the price ticket. You just discover that just after, so in the beginning it's make you a bit like feel unfair. And as well, if you book online, you will have also to pay a booking fee. At the end, keep in mind about the fees that the total price is always higher than it's expected. It was quite annoying at first, but for the rest of our trip, we knew that we have to expect that, and we didn't have a big issues. We didn't have a problem again. In particular, we never booked online tickets again, and so we didn't have to pay this fee, which is quite big. Then after you have the motorized tricycle. The motorized tricycles is a part of the DNAs of the Filipino cultures. It's one of the most common forms of public transportation. It's a sidecar, but it's not a tuk-tuk like the rest of Asia. I hope I can tell you more about the histories of the Philippine tricycles, maybe in a future episode, so subscribe and I will show it to you. But in short, the motorized tricycle was the highlight of the days after, of course, arriving to Alona Beach, because it was really fun. For me, it was really the adventures. There is no windows, and you can see the landscape directly from all around you. And especially when you discover the Philippines for the first time, it was very, very pleasant. After, as always, when you arrive in the port or in the airport and you have to take those type of transportations, try to always avoid the first request. You have to be patient and go out of the dock, and usually the price are gonna be better, and the price always drop drastically. It's something that I always use. So about Bohol Island, why we didn't go to the rest of Bohol Island? We didn't have the time, sadly, and we have to make a kind of choice between going to the beach or going to more the kind of mountain. Bohol is known for the tarsier, the smallest primate on the planet, and the wonderful chocolate hills. But we wanted to go to the beach in the Philippines, and Alona Beach was the best place near Cebu for us. And since we were returning to Cebu city at the end of our trip, we have to pass to another part. We make a loop, and we have to pass to another famous beach in the Philippines. So it was okay for us to go to Alona Beach. And after, why did we go to Alona Beach and not another beach in Panglao? Since it was our first time in the Philippines and in Panglao, we wanted to go to that beach. Why? Because it's the most famous and we usually don't know. So, of course, the beach is small and it's very crowded because very touristic, but it's also most affordable. So you have the more options and you have many restaurants. We didn't wanted to go to one place and we didn't wanted to spend money on transportation and to have more choice for the restaurants around us. I've already told you about the airport in Panglao, that it was replaced from the old Tagbilaran airport, and so this airport it serves the South Korea directly. As a result, Alona Beach welcomes many Korean tourists, and consequently, there are many South Korean restaurants. So I told you before, I have like lots of good recommendations for the restaurants that we have been in Alona Beach, and I have 3 recommendations for you. One of them is like the Korean food. Korean food is very nice in Philippines. Actually, because of the airport, there is many tourists from Korea, so there is lots of restaurants who serve Korean food. And after everywhere we have been in Philippines, there were always Korean restaurations. So it was very nice for me. At that time, I never had been to Korea. And here in Alona Beach, we have been to a cheap one, but they were very good because basically of the Korean tourists, you can find very good options for finding Korean food. That's one of my recommendations. If you never tried the Korean food, try in Alona Beach. I think it's a good opportunities. Then you have the burgers. When you arrive in Alona Beach, there is one thing who struck a lot. It's there is a McDonald's and the Jollibee signs in the skies, and it's in the center of the cities. And because there are two big brands, I don't want to recommend you to go there, and especially because you can find McDonald's and Jollibee some other part in the world. Jollibee is more hard because we don't have, for example, Jollibee in France or in Japan or even in Australia. But the ones I want to recommend you, it's called Angel Burger. And why I recommend this one? Because it's very authentic and very affordable instead of like the two big brands that you can see when you arrive in Alona Beach. This brand is very crazy because wherever you go, there is always an Angel Burger. They are always a bit high. They are quite affordable and they have a kind of deal with like very crazy. It's get one and get one for free. And that's incredible. It's cheap. It's a Filipino chain and it's just in Philippines. So I prefer these ones compared to McDonald's or Jollibee. And then after, the best restaurant for me that you can find in Alona cities is authentic Filipino food. Every time it's always some very cheap recommendation I give to you because we are always on the budget. But this authentic Filipino food, it's really like a very good restaurant, and it was my first time as really typical Filipino cuisine. It's called Andrea's. It's a family-run restaurant. It's not in city centers. You have to take a special pass to get there. It's hidden in a garden. It's have a large selection of Filipino dish. It's a canteen style. The prices are affordable. And if you are looking for a local cuisine, it's a great experience. That's the best experience in Alona Beach, seriously. But, however, usually open just always at lunch times. So it's always better to arrive before 12 because it's a very nice place because lots of people go there. That's a good sign. And try to don't take too much dish at once because if it's look cheap, if you have like a big plate with a lot of things, at the end it can get like quite expensive if you take too much. At first we ate too much and we pay a lot, but the other times we went back, we ate moderately and it was perfect for us. So personally, it's one of the best places in Alona Beach. Maybe in Philippines because I really think about it all the time. And for sure, every time I look for a restaurant in Philippines, I always search for that kind of canteen style. So you have our free recommendations with like the Korean food. Angel Burgers, who are like it's more like a kind of experience. It's not my best recommendations. And after you have the canteen style Andrea's, which is quite high, but very good. So next time, we will tell you about our trip in Balikasal, and we will talk more about the atmospheres and the Filipino people. So see you next time. Bye.